According to Talk Sport, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis will take place on Saturday, April the 22nd in Las Vegas, and it will be aired on Dazn. Now, this is a big coup for the network that's really been struggling in recent months, well, over the past year or so, actually, because of the fact they've been hemorrhaging money. They've invested an awful lot, particularly in the sport of boxing, and they haven't really seen a return on that investment to date. They've got such enormous debts that their owner, Len Blavatnik, had to invest several $1 billion of his own money to get them out of it, despite being a company whose initial aim was to become the Netflix of sport, where there's no long-term contract and you just pay a small monthly fee to access all their content. DAZN had to contradict their original mission and start doing pay-per-views. They also have introduced massive price rises, particularly in the UK, but to a lesser extent in the United States. They also, in their desperation, have turned to celebrity boxing, much to the dismay of many traditional boxing fans. So the acquisition of this fight right here between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis is a massive coup for DAZN if this information is accurate. These are the kind of fights they're going to have to deliver if they want to keep the customers coming back. And with that being said, there's no information yet about whether this fight is going to be on pay-per-view or whether it will be included in the monthly subscription cost. And if it is pay-per-view, it'll be interesting to see what price tag they put on it. And as for the fight itself, it will be at a catch weight of 136 pounds. Ryan Garcia, who recently moved up to 140 pounds, will have to boil down a little bit. In terms of who's going to win the fight, the majority of fans and boxing experts seem to believe that Gervonta Davis is going to take it. But the fact that Davis is getting Ryan Garcia to boil himself down to a catch weight is an indication of how big a threat he and his team believe Ryan Garcia is. It's a very interesting fight. Two young guys in their primes, giving the fans what they want. Let's hope it lives up to expectations. And that's the thing. Just because you have two top-level guys fighting each other, it doesn't guarantee a good fight. It's often the case that many of the best fights in boxing, perhaps most of the best fights in boxing, do not happen at the top level because there are only a certain amount of top-level fighters for one, and for two, sometimes top-level fighters are so skilled that they actually cancel each other out. Obviously, we want to see the top guys fight each other because we want to find out who the best is. But just in terms of how entertaining the fights are, the top guys don't always put on the most exhilarating display. Let's hope this fight is more like Hagler Hearns than Klitschko David Haye. I suspect it probably will be because of the styles involved here. Both guys have exciting styles. Both guys have got quick hands, particularly Ryan Garcia. Both guys can punch. And neither guy is Pernell Whitaker or Floyd Mayweather or Bernard Hopkins in terms of defense, especially with Ryan Garcia, who has been very hittable in recent years. Tank Davis has had a relatively solid defense. Anyway, give me your take on this fight. How do you see it going? Who do you think's going to win? Do you think that the catch weight will be a factor? Will it weaken Ryan Garcia? Will it contribute to the way the fight turns out in terms of the result? And what do you think about it being on DAZN? Do you think DAZN need to include this fight as part of the monthly subscription cost in order to keep the fans happy? Or do you think even if they put it on pay-per-view, it will be a success? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.